you're welcome once again. Our highly esteemed man of God, Reverend Dr. Chris Oyakilome, DSc DD, our highly esteemed chairman, highly esteemed MD, esteemed school administrator, esteemed principal, Mr. Bewaji, esteemed pastors and deaconesses, esteemed parents, members of staff, pupils, ladies and gentlemen. It is said that every journey begins with a small step, and every achievement was once just a dream. Today started years ago, and it quickened pace last September so that this moment, this achievement that we stand in now, could materialize from being a dream. It has been quite an interesting journey, and the culmination is much better than the dream. This session, we have made a lot of achievements. I'll just mention a few. Of course, it's our 10th anniversary celebration. Please put your hands together for LoveWorld Schools. During our activity week, we had the first ever tie, and so we had 2 houses, blue and red houses, as winners. We are now ACSI certified. That's not a small feat, by the way, you know. For those of us who were involved, a few parents were invited as well. I'm sure you'd agree with me that it was a thorough thing. And we are grateful, we are thankful that we are now certified as an international Christian school. In this session as well, we commenced our Surulere School. Please put your hands together for us again. We had our first ever taekwondo grading with one of the secondary girls moving on to black belts. We had excellent GEM and WAEC results. As a matter of fact, we were able to produce the best in English in the person of Olawepo Olamipo in year 12. They just recently graduated students. We are thankful for all these things. Now, I want to appreciate our highly esteemed and ever supportive chairman, our dear MD, and members of the school's board of directors. Sincere thanks and appreciation to the parents of the outgoing year 6 class, nursery 2 and year 2 parents as well, to my hardworking and indefatigable members of staff, and also to those in secondary. I say a big well done. The reward of a job well done is more work, so I'm sure we know that there's more work ahead of us, you know, as we prepare for a great harvest, as the gathering clouds begin to empty themselves with answered prayers in every direction. So this morning, I'd like to share a few thoughts with us, if you permit me, starting with the outgoing year 6 pupils, and then parents and the rest of us. Dear pupils, I know that the word freedom, which has been your chant for the past few days, is what best describes your thoughts about secondary school. But may I shock you a bit? Because when you say freedom, you think it's just freedom to do as you like. But sorry, it's more of an illusion and self-delusion. Why do I say that? Freedom is not necessarily an absence of control. Instead, it is the ability to exercise caution in the face of remote restrictions. So please be rest assured that there are more. So what are the qualities that are expected of you to succeed at your studies and to make yourself first and the rest of us proud of you? First, you need to be a self-starter. You need to know what you're to do and do it without someone prompting you. Not your class mentor, not your class teacher. You have to be able to get started on your learning by yourself. Secondly, you need to lead. Now, there are 4 ways to lead, so I've just mentioned them very quickly. Number 1, you need to lead yourself. You have to manage your emotions, your time, and your resources well. You also lead the people coming behind you. It doesn't matter, you may even be the last child in your family, but there will always be people ahead and people coming behind you. So be a leader to those coming behind. The third way to lead is to lead sideways. That has to do with your classmates. Be a good example. In 1 Timothy chapter 4, verse 12, the New Living Translation says, "Don't let anyone think less of you because you are young. Be an example to all believers in what you say, in the way you live, in your love, your faith, and your purity." So be an example and lead sideways. And then the 4th way to lead is to lead those above you. This may be your parents, your teachers. I'm sure you're wondering, how do you lead someone above you? It's quite simple. first, you need to display a lot of discipline, then drive and focus, so much that you motivate your leaders and people around you to keep modeling a good work and to keep developing themselves so that they can be a step ahead of you, or at least be in step with you. Now, back to the things you need to know and to do to succeed at your studies. Number 3 is to keep your focus. Don't be distracted by the things happening around you. You know what you want, you know why you are where you are, so just keep focused on your journey. And then the 4th point for this part is to keep God in your heart. If you keep him in your heart, then he will be seen in your life. You know, a man of God said something. He said, until you prevail with God, you cannot prevail with men. Your victory has to be spiritual first before it is physical. So in anything that you do, remember to always win on your knees first and to walk with God. As I begin to wrap up these thoughts this morning, dear parents, I will speak to you as well. There are a few things we would like from you as teachers, as educators, and possibly as co-parents. First, we'd like you to give your child the gift of your presence before you give them presents. I know we're busy. I know we have a lot of responsibilities. But you see, I'd like to remind you of the message again by the man of God, where he talked about 2 different kinds of relationships. The relationships you choose and the relationships that you did not choose. Those ones you didn't choose, they are special, they are God-given. And you will answer to him concerning those relationships. One of such is a relationship with your children. So please nurture those relationships now. In the immediate, nurturing the relationships will help your child, you will help your children blossom and develop a healthy self-confidence. While in the long term, it will ensure that your guidance is what they will turn to when things get cloudy and unclear as they grow older. Secondly, please give them the gift of your voice. Whose voice will your children hear in their hearts when you are not with them? Would you be the voice of TV, their friends, or teachers? It's not bad if it's the voice of the teacher, but don't you think it would be nice for them to have your voice in their hearts instead? So it is important that your voice is prominent in their hearts. Please ensure that this voice they hear when they hear your voice is one that is affirming them, one that is loving and giving constructive feedback. It should not demean, compare them to their friends or siblings or your friends' children, or pull them down. Finally, please give them the gift of Christ Jesus. Don't be a signpost in their journey to God or with God. Be a tour guide. Show them the path of life by living and walking in a way that pleases God. God commanded the Israelites to teach their children in the way, at home, at the door, and in all places. This points to a close and present relationship. So that takes me back to where I actually started from, which is about giving them your presence. Be present, be involved, and be deliberate to show your love for them. Of course, as I live here, I will not fail to remind you of a summer school starting on the 1st of August for 3 weeks. We are eagerly looking forward to a great summer adventure, and we can't wait to have them back at that time. Please sign up your words, talk to your church friends, your family, your neighbors, invite as many people as you can. Let's have a fantastic summer adventure. As we continue with today's event, I'd like to wish us the very best of God. Enjoy our presentations. Laugh loud at our antics, because you know there will be some, especially from the younger children, and then cheer loudly for every child that's called up here or that has something to do. It doesn't matter if it's EYFS, primary, or secondary. Thank you very much.